So, welcome. Where are we now?
Oh, where are we now?
No, just introduce.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hi.
Who are you?
Okay, who am I? So I'm Mabuda, and I am basically delving into the world of digital marketing right now. And Hallgeir is going to be my mentor, and he's Norway's only LinkedIn certified marketing expert. So I got really lucky in the draw for mentors. And yeah, I've been working in marketing mostly as like a marketing coordinator for a year plus ish, and now I have been recently hired as a digital marketer, and it's a pretty steep learning curve, and there's always something to learn. And then we thought that maybe others would enjoy getting insight into how digital marketing actually works and what kind of tasks and assignments and basically stuff you have to do in order to like succeed and get people to like buy into your brand. We work at Make More, a digital marketing agency, so we have a lot of clients. So I also have my own client portfolio that I'm learning to juggle because I've never worked as a consultant before. So yeah, so we're gonna go through things
Yeah.
about marketing.
So, I've looked at your notes for this episode, and I can see from your notes that it has been eventful this week. Walk me through what's been happening in Mabuda's marketing world.
Okay, so this week is actually like soon gonna be summer in Norway, or generally.
Summer is actually applicable in the whole world.
Yeah, apparently.
Yes.
So there's a lot of people going off on holiday. So there's a lot of like handovers happening, and I'm also going off on holiday soon. So there's been a lot of report writing, which I've been struggling with a little bit since like before, because like report writing for clients is very different than like just normal report writing. And I have been working a lot with like cookie and consent form slash conversion tracking this week as well, because there were like some links that were down, some conversions that were not being tracked in Google. So I had to like troubleshoot it in a way. And I was like, I've never done this before. ChatGPT, what do I do?
Yeah, and it is mainly like some technical challenges. What was the most challenging this week?
I think this week it was like tracking in general for Google and Meta, because I wasn't sure exactly how tracking works at all, like overall. So I had to like figure out like how does Google Ads generally track conversions and events? How does it work? How does the Google Tag Manager and Google Analytics tie into that? And also like for Meta, how does the pixel tracking get set up? How do you know to read what it's tracking, and like if it's actually tracking the right things? So those were things that I was basically like learning as I was doing it. And I think troubleshooting was the most useful and valuable way of like figuring that out, because you have an end goal.
Yeah.
And with an end goal, you're like, okay, you're working towards that. So that was the biggest challenge generally this week.
Yeah, and I think with troubleshooting, when you do like work with Google Tag Manager and stuff like that, you try to do the troubleshooting, but you can't do it necessarily on a live page.
Yeah.
So then you have to like do preview modes, and you
Yeah.
have to see am I managing to get my events to fire? Like
Yeah.
all the things like
Yeah,
that.
and then like because in general there's so many tools available to like do the same thing, so you never really know which tools you're supposed to use. And there's always almost like an inundation of like all these tools that are just there. You're like, I don't know which ones to pick for what.
Yeah.
So I recently learned that for checking conversion on a website, you can use Google Tag Assistant, which is a separate website that you can like put in the website domain into, and then you can like basically check the consent form as well when it's firing. You can also check like is conversion and form submission being tracked as well. So that was very interesting, like info to also learn. And I think most people don't know that like how tracking works and like how you get the analytics that you want, because every business are like, we need analytics, we need data on this, this, and this. How do you make sure that you're actually getting that data correctly? You know,
and then also you have to ask them, why do you think you need this data?
Yes.
And a lot of the time it's like, well, we had it before, and this whole transition from the old Google Analytics to the new one, and people starting to use all of these other tracking platforms also. I think it's exciting. Being proficient with Google Tag Manager and Analytics, I think is very useful to most marketing professionals.
Yeah, because like I have used Google Tag Manager before, but at a very superficial level. Now is when I'm realizing that. Before I was like, oh, Google Tag Manager, I know it, and now I'm like, holy shit! The deeper you go, the more you know how much you don't know. Absolutely. Oh my god, you know. And you know, on that note, in terms of like the data, like why do you need this? Like a lot of companies sometimes ask like, we want this, this, and this data, right? This is another thing that I ran into when writing reports.
Yes,
you know,
I presume.
Yeah, because I was like, okay, what metrics are most important? What metrics actually gives actual value? Because before you only really think about likes or like impressions. You're like, oh my god, so it reached so many people. We are like so popular. But then when you actually go into the details, you're like, oh, conversion is really low. So people are seeing it, but they're not converting. So the ad is actually not very useful, efficient. Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. So because at the beginning I was like, oh my god, the impressions, the reach is so high, this is doing so well. But now I'm like, oh no, why is the reach so high but conversion so low? You know,
then we learn.
Yes.
And that's the fun part.
Yes.
About that also, you mentioned something about your struggles with DSA versus performance max.
Yes.
What was that whole thing?
Okay, so essentially I was given a task by a client where they want to set up Google Ads, but connect it to specific newspapers like Dagbladet and that. And I wasn't really sure how you do that. And then, and especially because it's connected to very specific websites that you want, and usually like for banner and display, if you do Performance Max, which is the better version of that, I guess, more comprehensive in a way, but you have very little control over it. I was very confused for a while. I was like, okay, what do I choose, or how do I choose which one to go for? Do we want more control, or do we want more efficiency? You know, or more comprehensiveness? And then like I asked our other senior digital marketer, and he said, well, if you're looking to very specifically just choose these websites, then you should just go for like normal display, because that gives you control, and that's kind of what you're looking for here. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I was like, and then I wasn't sure at the very beginning because I hadn't set up a display campaign before, but I've done a Google course on it. By the way, those courses, you know, they don't prepare you for much.
No.
But
you get a good a nice looking certification.
Yeah, I'm like, I have certificate. If you ask me questions though, don't ask me.
Yes.
Don't ask me yet. You know? But yeah, so I wasn't really sure how display even works, to be very honest, before I set up that campaign. And when I got that request, I was like, oh my god, can you even specifically target websites? I didn't even know that.
No.
So I was like, okay. And then we figured it out.
Yeah. So I totally agree with your reasoning. And if you want more control, normal DSA, you can exclude a lot of irrelevant content. You can target very specific websites, and if you're focused on search only, DSA, very and also if you have a limited budget, it's typical to do that, because it requires a lower minimum spend. So.
But you know what's very, very interesting for me in particular is the difference in reasoning that you need as a digital marketer and like a social media manager. Because in social media you're just thinking what looks good, what's hitting, you know, like who's looking at it. But as a digital marketer, I have to consider like funnel stages. Like, are they
Yes.
actually considering like, do they even know the brand yet? And if they don't
Most
know the
likely
brand,
no.
yeah, then we should be thinking more of like meta ads if we want to build awareness. But if we are also doing funnel based advertising on Google, we have to consider that like for step one, they don't know the brand at all.
Yeah.
So we have to really focus on the product and what a person would want to look for when they're like, and most likely search would be very good there as well in a way.
Yeah, and that
PMax,
but
yeah.
that is only if they are problem and solution
Yeah,
aware.
exactly.
So then if they're not problem and solution aware, then you need to actually build a demand
Yes.
for your brand
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
solution.
And yeah,
ahead.
no, because and for that you use PMax,
Yeah.
right, on Google. And I was just thinking that like every single decision that you make as a digital marketer is like so nuanced that I'm like, oh,
That's fine.
oh, okay, like it's nothing like this. You have to constantly think and consider and logic and reason. And I'm like, and especially as a consultant,
Yeah.
we have clients that will ask us why this. So you always have to be like, I have to have a good answer for that. Why did I choose this? You know, I can't just be like, it works, or like, no, you have to know what you're doing. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I think, and also with PMax, it's necessary to have like sufficient data. And
exactly.
you have to have real conversions, and you have to be able to have at least 30 conversions per month to actually have a good PMax up and running. So,
Yes.
but I'm thinking future-proofing PMax. Google is very much pushing advertisers towards it. So I have a feeling that DSA will be phased out at some point.
Makes sense, because
Yeah,
it's
I think
very
so.
like PMax basically does what display does, but
Yes.
like at a much bigger scale, you know?
Yes, and less granular
Yeah,
control.
yeah.
So, all in all, it sounds like you managed to solve your challenge there, at least. Then, regarding like the tracking, did you figure out the difference between like normal tracking versus e-commerce tracking? Because that's a big one, really.
Yeah, it is very big. I have not fully understood it yet. Because the thing is, one of our clients acquired a hotel that has like its own booking site and everything, website, or page site. So I'm like in charge of like putting in like the tracking for it, like the website tracking in general. And I was advised by another senior digital marketer that it should be an e-commerce tracking method. And I've seen a few videos on it now on YouTube, and I've been playing around a little bit. But I still I haven't actually set it up yet. And I as far as I've understood, it's like normal tracking is like you click a button, you submit a form, you see how far they've scrolled, you know. But for e-commerce, you have to see what they booked, how much money it's being being.
So the normal tracking, you have like the basic events that happens, like form submissions, downloads, signups, whatever, and it basically collects whether something happened, yes or no. It's good for lead generation, content site, service businesses, and you can set it up quite easily through Google Tag Manager and Google Analytics. But with e-commerce tracking, you can actually track the detailed purchase behaviors, product performance. You can collect revenue amounts. You can collect product names, categories, quantities, tax, shipping costs, transaction ID, and then you can, based on that, actually build up like a customer lifetime value and all of that. So it's very much it is very much a totally different beast, really.
Yeah.
And I think that if we use the wrong tracking type, it basically it leaves us missing crucial data. And the e-commerce tracking gives us return on investment data, and basically the standard tracking do not.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
But it is also very important to say that if you have these issues, it's it is allowed to ask people.
Yes.
So I'm very happy that you did that
Yeah.
because all of these numbers are really what we are basing our advices
Yeah.
and our
Yeah, our
action.
insight
Yeah.
on. Yes.
So that's very, very important. How did the reports writing go in the end?
So it, I feel like what should have taken me like maybe 3-4 hours max ended up taking me like 18 hours.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and I think the hardest part of for report writing for me, especially right now, is the like reading the numbers in a way. Like, what is actually useful data? Like, what do my client want to know?
What does this mean?
Yeah, what does this mean? Because before I would not have known like, yeah, like I mentioned earlier, like that impressions is just a vanity metric. So I was like, okay, I talked about impressions. I was like, okay, that was not necessary, I guess, you know. And this basically like checking, because in report writing, it's not like you just have like the dashboard of the numbers and that's it. You have to go from there. If you see like, for example, the Meta click-through rate has gone down, I have to go into Meta and I have to check which campaign it is that actually is going like contributing
What
most.
is
Yeah, and then I have to check which ad is doing the worst, and then I have to like
make a hypothesis
yeah,
on
and
why.
yeah, of why. And I have to constantly make hypotheses and like reason, and I'm like, oh, this is very difficult, but then I also have to rewrite it in a way that's like presenting it in like a actionable way, not like, oh, it's done, what do we do? It's like
This is happening.
This is happening, this is
Deal
what
with
we're
it.
doing. This is what we're doing, and also in an easily digestible way, because like our clients aren't marketers themselves, so they will not
That's
care.
why they hire us.
Yeah, that's why they hire us, but they still want to know what's going on. So I'm like, to condense everything into very like 6 lines is very hard.
Yeah. If you were to summarize, what was the most useful results you got from using AI this week?
That would be really nice. For AI,
Yeah, in what way did you use AI where you thought like,
this
nice,
is really nice. Okay, so generally, ChatGPT is literally my personal assistant when it comes to problem solving, technical problem solving. So for every single one of these tasks, especially when it's technical, I've been using ChatGPT to be like, okay, this is the error message they're showing, help me read it, this is the script, like the code that I'm reading, I kind of get it, but like, give me your
explain please.
You know. And also I have been using Manus. You have been using Manus. He made an insane presentation in like, I don't know, 5 minutes. He gave like Manus all the like extra for like our workshop. He put in like additional documents and came out with such an insane social media plan, like website, slide deck, and I was like, Manus is good.
Yeah, it's really good, but that also depends on you have to have the right input and the context.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about will this actually be putting anyone's job at risk? I'm thinking, will you lose your job to Manus at some point? I think not.
I don't think so, because
unless you get another main Manus agent to put in requests to another Manus agent. I don't know.
Because I'm just thinking like when, for example, like laptops and like the internet started like running in like the 1980s, I think. I don't know when it started. But at some point, you know, like people were probably like, oh my god, we're losing our job, but new jobs came up. You know, now we have digital marketers, whereas before we had like, you know, probably people writing for newspapers
Don
and
Draper
stuff.
And
yeah. So like I think we'll have new jobs that are going to pop up, because we are so like, what's that word? Not tenacious, but like we're always coming up with new things, new needs, you know.
But for instance, if you take all the horses that were used in farming before the tractor, we don't have that many jobs for horses anymore.
Ah, that is very true.
But still, there are more people showing up to see horses run around
Than tractors.
than there are horses showing up to see people running around.
Ah.
Have you ever seen any horses show up at a human race? No.
No.
No, you see, they won.
The rat race.
But really, what I was thinking there is that also in the Industrial Revolution, when the Luddites tried to crush all the mechanical weaving factories, that's because they were being semi-replaced. But still, it's not like that's. We still have jobs.
Yeah.
We just don't have all those
jobs. Exactly. That's kind of like my thought when it comes to AI as well. I always feel like you can't force progress to stop. You know, you just can't do it. So just
you
because
have to grab on tight and hold on.
Yeah, and you can put in laws and regulations in place to make it safe, but you can't stop it. So I am a big proponent of, regulate AI, but don't cut it away,
You can't stop it.
You can't stop it.
What was the biggest... but we didn't get to what your best kind of outcome from AI this week was. Do you have anything?
Honestly, aside from technical problem solving this week, I haven't really used it for much else. Last month when I had some free time, I've had no free time at all. None. I barely even sleep.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. No, but last month, was just a very fun side project. I kind of used Manus to create like a cognitive development game. So basically, it created a game where you could like practice your memory ability, your speed ability. Was it speed? Yeah.
Reading.
Yeah. Not reading, but like how quickly you can tap on things and like how much you can remember things. And I was like, I'm a developer now, low-key. That's what I was like, oh my god, who needs developers? They can be kicked out of their job. No. That come from me.
What's the biggest gap between what you know and what you now know that you need to know?
I feel like the more I know, the more I feel like I need to know.
Yeah.
So like when I first started 2 months ago, I was like here, okay? And now I feel like, and then I felt like the gap was here. Now I feel like I'm here, and now the gap is here. You know? So it's like because the more you know, the more you realize there's like, okay, before you thought there was 3 ways of doing things. Now as you've learned all 3 ways, then you realize, oh my god, there's actually 9 ways to do this. Like now that I have 3, I can combine them in 3 different ways to do 9 different ways. I'm like, and it goes like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I think we should wrap up this week's episode, the first one. I look forward to seeing what this turns into, but because we need to go and actually do some more work. Very nice to start this journey, and I look forward to next time.
Yes, I'm not camera used to the camera, so
you are very much force of nature that is moving a lot.
Yes, so
I see.
I hope this goes well.